What's going on, all you wild Star Wars enthusiasts? May the fourth be with you. Happy Star Wars Day. It's Emperor Logan Myerz and my good mate over there,
Palpatine.
Palpatine Hill, with me tonight.
Palpatine Hill.
Hopefully, you all had a good Star Wars Day. Got to catch up on some shows, maybe some Star Wars movies, and more importantly, the brand new episode that premiered, pilot episode of The Bad Batch, the newest animation in the Star Wars universe. And we're going to talk about the first episode, Aftermath. That's 72 minutes long. It's pretty lengthy, but it's a nice setup. So basically, we had a Clone Force 99. It's elite clone commandos. There's 5 of them. Hunter being the leader. You have Crosshair, Tech, Wrecker, and Echo. They debuted in season 7 of the Clone Wars. This is more or less a continuation of Clone Wars, like season 8, but it's a different title. Introducing these characters. And it takes place after Star Wars 3, Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, and having to do with some familiar faces, clone troopers, and really getting to dive into these characters that we got a glimpse of in the Clone Wars Season 7.
I liked how this introduced us to all the characters. Myself, I haven't seen any of the Clone Wars yet. I maybe seen a few scenes just to become more familiar with Ahsoka. For The Mandalorian, I watched a little bit of some of the episodes with her, but yeah, I really didn't have any backstory. I didn't really know too much about it. I read enough to know like where it took place in the lore, that this was immediately following what happened in Revenge of the Sith. But this premiere episode did a great job of introducing everybody to these main characters, these these troopers, these clones. And without having to watch the Clone Wars, I felt like I could understand enough to just go in, watch this show and not have to necessarily watch all the Clone Wars. So that was nice. And I like how they introduced all these characters. Hunter, he's the main character. He seems like the leader of the group. I really enjoyed the animation. I thought it was very well done. From what I had seen of the Clone Wars, I thought it stayed pretty true to that. It might have felt a little different. But it looked really good on screen, and I like the action sequence right off to kick it off. I was drawn into the action right away.
The animation has come a long way since the first season of Clone Wars. You can definitely tell it's a lot crisper, pops out at you, very vibrant and more realistic. So I think props for the animation. They've come a long way. But the writer is Jennifer Corbett, and she was actually talking about writing the show. Maybe never seen the Clone Wars like yourself, but she wanted to write a show that you can kind of dive right into it. You didn't have to watch all these different seasons to kind of get what's going on. And more importantly, like the beginning, they had the recap like in Clone Wars. Previously on Clone Wars, this is what happened. It's that voice.
Yeah.
They kind of did that, which is
it Christopher Lloyd?
Recaps everything, and it's just like really in your face and exciting. But it's definitely in the same realm there. This picks up with Execution Order 66, which they eliminate the Jedis. This control chip that's imprinted into these clones, and they basically get brainwashed and turn on the Jedi and take them out.
I like seeing, we got to see characters throughout this episode that we've seen from the movies. We got to see the Emperor. We got to see characters that we love and know from the original movies, mainly the villain side. But I like how this series is following these troopers here, and you don't necessarily know if they're all good or all bad to begin with. Like I don't have any I don't really have any background knowledge on what's going on, but you can see that most of these clones, these troopers that you're following, are actually, they seem like they're pretty good, and they're not trying to follow the orders to just go and execute everybody. They come across this girl who obviously has some powers. It reminded me of Cal Kestis in the very beginning there. I think I'm talking about a different character in the beginning there. I think Caleb, that kind of reminded me of Cal Kestis, when it's showing when he's real small and they're training him.
Yeah.
So he looks like almost like a Jedi in training.
He's a Padawan. He's like
Padawan in training. Yeah.
He's like an apprentice, but yeah, Caleb Doom. That's a big one. That was like one of the nods. It's a character that became the hero Kanan Jarrus when he became older. So that was cool that Dave Filoni brought him back. Caleb as like a younger character, which we bigger and more awesome down the road. So it's really cool.
Having played Star Wars Fallen Order,
yeah,
you get to see these characters and how they trained when they're apprentices. There's these Padawans So right away, I kind of recognized them and had a little familiarity with them. But I needed to watch the whole thing to kind of understand where the story was going and how they're going to meet up with this character Omega and how it was going to set the story forward with that character. I was invested throughout the episode. I was very interested. I liked the dialogue was really great. It felt like a Mandalorian quality dialogue and everything. If this was live action, it would have cost so much money. So thank God they have animation, and the animation's really well done. Of course, it looks spectacular. I love following the heroes. Hunter's my favorite so far. Just how he's tactical. He makes sure to think everything out. He plans everything. And some of the other characters provide, the comedy relief. There's a funny guy. And then there's, the big brute that's always there to come on and take on Wrecker, who comes on and, when the situation is getting pretty chaotic, he comes in and, cleans house, beats everybody up. And so, yeah, I enjoyed the dynamic between the team.
Yeah, definitely. They had a really great chemistry together. They're all different personalities. Wrecker's probably my favorite just because he's so over the top. He's like, oh, we're going to break something. You want me to break it? And like, I don't know. He's a big, tough guy. He's huge as well. But Hunter being the leader, I thought he was really great. D. Bradley Baker is the one that voiced Hunter. He's really great.
The voice actors really sell these characters. I mean, they're tasked with, it's animation, so they're tasked with carrying the load and, moving their characters forward with their voices. And they all did a spectacular job, specifically Hunter, played by Mr. Baker there. Thought he did a phenomenal job. You can tell these are seasoned voice actors. Nobody sounds out of place. They have, they can do the wide range of, they have good vocal abilities, and they really sell these characters.
And I love his relationship with Omega when they kind of get introduced. She's raised at this cloning facility, Planet Camino, and then the Bad Batch shows up, and they kind of form this relationship. And she could see that they're different like her, with everybody having these chips and are kind of brainwashed. They're different. They're like defects, but they're fighting a good cause here, and they really hit it off. And I like their relationship and setting up Omega's character. With Disney and Star Wars, they always have to have like a female protagonist kind of thing. So I think her character is pretty cool. I'm not really sure how it's all going to play out with her, but I'm assuming she'll work with the Bad Batch throughout the season.
Throughout the episode, they meet up and they team up. And like you mentioned before, when we were talking about this, not all of the Bad Batch are in to follow orders from Order 66, but one of them, Crosshair, he's obviously different than the rest of them. He wants to follow the Emperor's order, and he's all about following orders and moving the Empire forward, and following orders to kill all these Jedis and stuff, where the rest of them are definitely not in on that. They're not all bad.
And the Bad Batch, the 5 of them, or the Sad Batch, as I said in that cafeteria scene, I believe it was pretty funny. Yeah, like duking it out like in an 80s movie, like over the top. All these clone troopers and stuff, like they're just duking it out. It's funny. The Bad Batch, with these characters, what they're doing is fighting on behalf of the Republic, and this is the introduction of the Empire. From the Republic to the Empire, which is huge, obviously, for the trilogy, the original trilogy, Empire Strikes Back. This is like before that, obviously. This is after episode 3. So this is Palpatine, and you get Grand Moff Tarkin, the old bad guy himself, which I loved how they did him as a like animation or cartoon. He looked exactly like the actor.
Exactly like him, yeah.
And the voice actor as well. Like, he was very intimidating. But you see Palpatine and Tarkin kicking out the Empire and where it's going to be going in the future, and what that has to do with the Bad Batch is like stopping them if they can.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the series and how much time it covers and everything in between. Obviously, Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. We'll see what characters pop up along the way that we already know and love. There's a lot of story to cover there. So moving forward, I think there's going to be, I think it said there's, I want to say like 17 episodes. Something
16,
like that.
16, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it's until like August, I think. I was reading.
Wow.
That's gonna be a long series.
That's a long run of episodes, yeah, for sure. I'm assuming they're gonna be shorter than this one. I think this one's probably the the one that was more felt like a movie to introduce everybody to the Bad Batch. And moving forward, I don't know whether it's going to be a half hour, 40 minutes. I'm assuming something like that going forward with these episodes. But yeah, 17 episodes is going to give us a lot of material here for this first season. And Disney Plus is going to have another, show on their hands that'll keep people subscribed and coming, especially all the Star Wars fans,
Yeah.
up until we get to see, obviously, the Book of Boba Fett come out. And then as soon as they're done wrapping on the Book of Boba Fett, they're going to go right into Mandalorian season 3. So awesome to see some Star Wars original content coming soon, starting with the Bad Batch here. This was cool that it was released on May the 4th.
Yep.
Perfect time to release it. All the fans are ready for some fresh Star Wars material. And being a fan, I wouldn't say I'm a super fan, but obviously a big fan of Star Wars. This was a cool little introduction, a nice little, series for Disney Plus, especially animated, something that my son will probably get into in the future. He can watch Clone Wars and then he can go right into the Bad Batch.
I was talking to Bodie earlier. He's watched all of Clone Wars and he watched the Bad Batch episode already because I texted his mom.
Oh, cool.
And he watched it. He was like, "That was scary." I'm like, "Kind of, yeah," but he's excited for it as I am. I'm a bigger Star Wars fan than I am like Marvel. I love Marvel, but I've always been a bigger Star Wars fan and pretty into the mythology and learning so much about it, learning new characters, how it all ties in together into the other movies. And I was really excited for this. I woke up yesterday morning, watched it right away before work, and I had a great time with it because I love the Clone Wars. This is a continuation. This is like season 8 of the Clone Wars because we already know these characters, and they did a great job with it. All 5 characters, all different personalities, but it really worked. The introduction of Omega, the young girl, I thought she was really fantastic with Hunter, and I love the animation, music, the callbacks, nods to the other Star Wars films, and Clone Wars, obviously, the cameos. It just worked for me. I had a really great time in the first episode, Aftermath. And I would give it a 4.5 out of 5. Clone War hair pieces.
I had a great time with it as well. I didn't have any, I didn't watch the Clone Wars before, so I didn't have much background on it. But the premiere episode, it was more like a 70-minute short movie. Did a good job of, introducing me to the story. It got me introduced to these characters of the Bad Batch. I really loved Hunter. I liked the other characters in the Bad Batch, Wrecker. And Omega seems like a character that'll be worth following throughout the series here. We'll see where it goes. Everybody's going to be rooting for the Bad Batch, obviously, to put a hamper on the plans of the Empire to go around killing all these Jedi and to move forward with their grand plan. We all know how it ends up, but it'll be fun, watching it play out and see how, plans are foiled and what eventually happens to this character of Omega and where do these, these stormtroopers and the Bad Batch end up when it's all said and done. I really like the animation. It was really well done. You can tell that all these voice actors are loving what they're doing. They've, they came over from the Clone Wars, so obviously they already know these characters well, and now they're going to have the spotlight on them moving forward through this series. So I'm all in. It was a lot of fun for me. Dave Filoni, all the people that work on these Star Wars do a great job. They know the story so well, so they're able to, put it in animation form and tell us the story and bridge the gap between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. So it's very exciting. I'm glad there's a new Star Wars show to watch every week. And this premiere episode was great overall. I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5 Bad Batch hair pieces. And it would have been higher, but this is my first introduction to it. So
you fully kind of understand everything that's thrown at you, which I get. I totally get it. If I didn't watch any of that, if I didn't watch Clone Wars, I'd have no idea.
So I'm sure as the series goes on over these 17 episodes, I'll start understanding, and I'm definitely gonna go back and watch Clone Wars from the beginning. It's just a matter of when at this point.
And there's a lot of episodes too, like 16 or 20 episodes a season.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, the second season's kind of when they found their footing, it kind of found out where it wanted to go, introducing a lot of characters. The first season was a little rough. Just the animation, it was all over the place too. But second season on, especially the last season, it was really good. So check it out with your kid. Anybody out there that hasn't seen it either, definitely check it out. It's on Disney Plus right now. Bad Batch episode 2 will premiere this Friday, May 7th, and then the remaining episodes every Friday will be premiering on Disney Plus. So we'll be back to talk more about the Bad Batch, get Uncle Henry into more of the Star Wars mythology, do some homework, watch some Clone Wars, and we'll talk some more.
Can't wait. Yeah, I'm looking forward to every week the new episodes. I'm glad there's already one going to be dropping on Friday, so we don't even have to wait a week before the next episode. So that's awesome. And we'll be going to another Galaxy Friday very soon.
That's right. So maybe we'll be back here shortly to talk about the next episode. I think we're talking Friday. Friday night, we're going to be talking about Invincible that debuted on Amazon Prime Video. So we're excited to talk about that. More podcast interviews and reviews coming very soon right here on our YouTube channel.
All right. So until next time, these clone troopers are saying peace and cheers.
Love those boys.